Hi, good morning, everyone. How's it going? It's me, Ursula, and welcome to my studio and to my painting channel. We're going to do kind of an experimental exercise today, something I haven't tried before, but hopefully it'll be fun and we'll learn something along the way. So, to prepare, I am going to be working from this image, and I'll be explaining why. I'll be talking about it, but this is the painting Luncheon on the Grass by Édouard Manet. And I included a link to the image in the video description, but I will include another one here in just one moment. Actually, what I'm going to do, this is the link to the Wikipedia entry about this painting. And let's see. Here is a link to the painting if you want to refer to it or print it out. You don't have to have any wonderful copy of it. And you could also work from your own piece or your own favorite painting today. You do not have to use this one. It's just, this is what I'm going to use today. And I'm actually going to go ahead and pull it up on my iPad as well, so I have an image of it on here because the colors are a little bit better. So that's what we're going to be working from today. And basically what we're going to be doing, we're going to be talking about appropriation, referencing photographs, the idea of like where do original ideas come from? Is there any such thing as an original idea? All these kind of like philosophical questions, talking a little bit about art history, and then also at the same time we'll be working on our own fun project. So basically, like the title of this video says, we're going to be making a copy of a copy of a copy. So you'll probably have some copy of an original painting that you're going to be working with to begin with. Oh my gosh, hey Kipper, how's it going? Thanks for saying hi. Okay, so you'll probably have some copy of an original painting to work from. And like I said, I'm going to be working with this one there's very specific reasons why, because this was a really influential painting in European art history. It kind of ushered in modernism in art. It preceded the Impressionist painters a little bit. It just really changed the direction of painting. And a lot of people referred to this painting in the years following. So it was a big cultural moment for this painting when it was unveiled. Hey, Jamie. Good morning. Thanks for coming along today. So I'll talk more about it. But in the meantime, if you want to load up a palette of colors for yourself, hi, Joanne. Go ahead and do that. I'm going to start here. I'm going to give myself a yellow, cadmium red, medium light, and alizarin crimson today. So these two reds. Is everyone doing okay with the time change? For me, it can be a little overwhelming. I love it. I love all the light at the end of the day, but getting used to that um, switch, that one less hour of sleep can be a little bit challenging sometimes. But I'm really glad that we have spring coming and summer. It's very exciting to me. Hi, Amanda. Just need some sunshine. Yes. But at least, I guess for a while there, it was a little bit warmer, which I like. Kind of reminds me of Seattle weather right now, like just gray, but kind of warm at least. I just can't do when it's too cold. All right, so let's see. I'm just giving myself the full range of colors. All the colors in the crayon box or whatever. And give yourself the freedom to do the same. Just give yourself a wide range of colors that you enjoy working with. Hi, Anne. Hi, Paulette. Hey, Joan. Waiting for the hummingbirds. There's definitely like some fun, pretty bird song coming out in the morning, though, which I'm happy to hear always. And let's see, I really want a purple. I think my only purple is high flow, but this is what I have at this point. Just all my colors. Oh, and I need some titanium white. I'm going to avoid black for now, but if you want to use black, go ahead, of course. So we're going to just see what happens with us creatively when we make a copy of a copy, or when we copy our own paintings. So another way you might try today's exercise is to just grab one of your old paintings and make a reproduction of it. If you want to try that, that's great. But again, like I said, I'm going to work from this image called Luncheon on the Grass. It was painted in 1962 and 63 by Édouard Manet. He did a small version of it, like a study of it, and then a larger, more finished version of it. When he presented it to the Paris Salon to be exhibited, they were kind of horrified by it and didn't include it in the national exhibition. So he went ahead and he showed it in the kind of reject salon, where probably all the really interesting stuff was being shown. Anyway, so the reason why, and if you take a look at the picture, the reason why it was so controversial, there's a few reasons why. One is that he was flattening, well, for the most obvious reason was that here was a naked woman sitting in the grass with two gentlemen for no particular reason. She's not a goddess or any mythological character. Generally, when women were depicted nude, they were from like a biblical character or some kind of mythological character. And she's just this ordinary woman sitting in the grass with two men. So that alone was controversial. The other reason why was the use of color. Now, my image doesn't really show it, but if you look at the original image, you'll see some of the objects in the foreground are a little more saturated with colors. And there's unresolved moments of this painting. You see more brush strokes. Also, the perspective of it is altered. This character in the back isn't really in correct perspective. She appears to be kind of hovering over them as opposed to like actually being placed in the landscape. So and also the lighting on them, there's not any dramatic shadows, which leads one to think that these were characters, people he knew, sitting in his studio in front of a backdrop of some sort. Um, so there's different reasons. It wasn't the classical academic painting of the time, which was characterized by smooth brush strokes, more somber, neutral colors. Um, and also naked women were mythological characters. So it was rejected, but it went on and influenced a bunch of other artists. I will go ahead and share some of the images by artists that it influenced. This is an interpretation of the painting by Monet that was painted just a few years later. Here's another by the artist James Tissot, Paul Cézanne, Picasso later in the 60s used it. The title has been used for films, for book ideas, and I actually used it as a title for one of my paintings, and I inserted some characters in there, just sort of thinking about this painting and the placement of the characters in this painting. It's also been used in a lot of photographs. There, on the Wikipedia link that I shared, there's a bunch of links to things that this painting influenced. And as well, when he painted it, he was influenced by other artists, other artworks that he had seen, Italian Renaissance artworks. And those are included on that page as well. So it's just like I love just thinking about this painting as part of maybe a trope or a continuation of this image, this idea, and how it went on to influence other people, and people referred to it. And we see that happening all the time now in our cultural landscape. Songs referring to other songs, or artists referring to their own works. Or sometimes we'll see an artist painting the same thing over and over. So there's lots of different ways that artwork kind of communicates across history and across cultural lines. So we're going to use it today for our piece, or at least I will. So we're going to first make a sketch of this drawing. I'm going to start actually with my markers just for fun. And it's up to you. You can try to reproduce this exactly. I'm just going to be loose with my interpretation of it. I'm not going for any kind of perfection at this point. So, let's see. And you might just work with one character. You might just focus on one aspect of the piece. Maybe just the fruit in the foreground is interesting to you. Or maybe just one of the characters. I want to start with this woman up here because she's kind of interesting to me. You might also play around with scale of things in this painting. Thank you, Paulette. Yeah, I feel like another reason why I wanted to choose this image is just for It conjures up this idea of picnicking in the spring, which I always like. Actually, I say that. I don't know if I've done an actual picnic in a really long time. So, however you interpret this, I will leave that up to you. I tend to make these gestural studies of figures before I go in and do any detail on them. Another fun thing you might do is just take paper and try to reproduce this with cut paper. There was something also shocking about the way this woman was just sort of impassively looking at the viewer while the men seemed to be, deep in conversation. He painted another controversial painting called Olympia. That's worth looking up as well, because his model was, just a average person. So I'm not getting into any details too much with these forms. I'm going to start putting some color in and just do this very loosely. And you can exaggerate your color if you want. I'm going to be, I like to use the word hyperbolic with my color here. Hi, Lisa. I'm going to mix up a darker value now. Now, you might be paying more attention to yours than I am. I know I'm doing this kind of rushed. Another thing that was controversial about this painting, I kind of touched on this earlier, was the abbreviated style of it, meaning the simplification of a lot of these forms. I mean, we might look at this and think it looks pretty complicated and descriptive, but for the time, especially in the background, a lot of these uh, trees and such were done very loosely. It's also quite a large painting. I have not seen it in real life, unfortunately. If anyone has, let us know. But it is quite large. And it was just sort of, people didn't understand like where this idea came from. Why did he have this idea? Now I'm feeling a need to actually put some kind of decorative paper here instead of coloring it in. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my papers. I used to do way, 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 way back in the day, I used to do stained glass. I mean, I never got very good at it, but oh, Joanne. I saw it in 2002 in Orsay Museum in Paris. It's very large and disturbing to see how the men are so well dressed and the woman is nude. Unusual. Yeah. We talked about the male gaze last week. And yeah. The thing I would say about this that's a little different is maybe the way there is something a little bit confrontational about her pose, like where she's sort of looking at the viewer while the men are talking. It doesn't feel as like passive as a lot of female nudes I've seen. So that's, I would love to see this painting in real life. But that's something I do like about it, is that she is sitting up, she's alert. It's kind of, we've all been her, I mean, with our clothes on probably, but still, we've kind of, I'm assuming a lot, but that's really cool, Joanne, that you get to see that. Yeah, it was very much like, why is this woman sitting with these men nude? I like it. If anyone else has any other comments to make about this particular piece of art, or interpretations that I shared. If there's an interpretation of the piece that you prefer, I'd love to hear your thoughts and reactions. I'm just sort of enjoying all of these kind of springtime patterns here. And again, remember, this is going to be the piece. I'm going to use this for a different painting, and I'm going to abandon that. So this is just kind of a little mock-up for me. Now, this could be something that you try in the future, but maybe devote a little bit more time to it. I'm working quite fast and haven't really planned any of this. So I was saying earlier when I was trying to piece these on, it was reminding me of when I used to do stained glass. And you'd have to cut the pieces of glass to fit an area perfectly. And it just was not my thing at all. I like the idea of it. I like telling people I did stained glass because it sounded kind of interesting, but the reality was that it was pretty tricky. Something I like to do if I'm referencing another photograph or a painting or something, is maybe change the characters. Maybe I'll make some of these people I know. Maybe I'll put some clothes on her. Um, Maybe we'll make the men naked. See how that changes it. I do like thinking about how these paintings were so much more important in the cultural landscape. Back then, a painting was like, this was before TV shows. So the painting was like, it was pretty much your TV. So I like thinking about that, like how different paintings and artwork changed the cultural landscape also at that time. Look at that quick study. It'd be fun to kind of put her in a suit or something. I don't know. I do kind of want to dress her a little bit. So what you could do if you wanted to do that is maybe look up, a picture of a woman in a suit sitting down or something to give you a reference for that. I'm going to just wing it. Let's see what happens. Is this gonna work? I don't know. I mean, do you love it? I just love it now. Not that I minded her naked, that was fine too, but it's just sort of fun to play around with this stuff, you know? She's kind of given me a little bit of Fran Lebowitz. Maybe I should make her into Fran Lebowitz. What about flipping it, make the menu? That's exactly what I said. Yeah. Or maybe you already put that up. Yep. I'm thinking that too. Has anyone seen, there's a pretty, on Netflix, Pretend It's a City? Um, Fran Lebowitz gives a lot of commentary. I haven't watched it all, but I'm so entertained by her. So we're turning this into Fran Lebowitz a little bit. Yes, loved it. I know, super entertaining. She's really fun to listen to. I mean, it's not that I always agree with everything, but I just really like her attitude about stuff. Okay, I want that leg out. I might be getting too caught up on this, and maybe I should do. Let's give him some. I really had no idea when I came up with this that this is what would be happening today. But it is. Okay, I don't know how to resolve this. This should be maybe on the outside. This can be Martin Scorsese. I want to give this guy some glasses though. Maybe we'll keep the beard on him. Apparently, this hat this guy is wearing is a hat that was typically worn inside, and that's why people were confused why he was wearing it outside. All right, I'm going to be done soon and just move into my other painting. I'm not sure if I want to make these guys naked. I feel like I need more, I guess, reference material. Okay, what do we want to put her in? I'm going to just put her in a t-shirt. Maybe I'll make, this is me. So, She's supposed to be in water of some sort. All right. I really do love how all the fruits are spilling out of this basket and the bread. Could put some more contemporary objects in this picnic. Okay. So what I'm going to do, this is just a really quick study I did for the sake of this project, but now I'm going to abandon this. I might still keep a memory of it. And I'm going to try to do this on a canvas bigger. Now I just happen to have this canvas laying around, which has, it's starting with a dark background, because I painted over. This was from the kitty cats, painting black cats way back last fall. I painted over them. And so now I'm going to use this as my reference for this. And also what I have from memory with this. I mean, I'll keep this around and look at it, but kind of going to try to make a new painting. If you saw the Cezanne painting that I shared, I really like just the flourishes and that and the style of that painting. So I might try to maybe embody that a little bit in this painting, like that kind of painterly approach to the painting. So I'm going to start with a lighter kind of neutral color to put a framework down, just so I can see what I'm actually painting. Maybe I'll be like, this will be me back here painting or something. This here. There's like a little pelican in the design of this paper that's actually kind of hilarious. I might go ahead and put that in there. It's so weird. It's weird how odd it feels to have like the guy naked and the woman not. And like what that says about whatever ingrained stuff we have, you know, or I have, I should say. I love thinking about how art is not the same at any point in history or in the timeline. We experience art differently depending on like what era we're living in when we see it. Like how our experience of this painting might be so different from um, someone at the time. I love still life painting for that reason because I feel like still life, if you're painting objects in your surroundings, like contemporary objects, it really describes, you know, that time and place. And just how things, you know, how we experience things differently. Um, at different moments in history. And I feel like it's impossible. Sometimes it's hard to separate a painting from its time in history, I think. Like, sometimes it's just important to know the historical context that it was made in. I mean, I guess you could apply that to anything too. TV. Another interesting thing to try is to just look at a painting, at a picture, look at it, take it in, look at it for a long time, and then put it aside and try to paint what you remember of the painting. Okay, I don't remember how to do this guy. Back into I like the dark background. Will you leave it? Probably. I do like how it looks on here too, actually. I mean, honestly, Lisa, there is a 60% chance that I'm going to paint over all of this. um, I would say like a good 20% of my paintings I paint over. Or you could find other paintings underneath them. But yeah, I do like the way the dark um, is kind of exaggerating all this. Or it's giving it a certain mood. Yeah, we'll give Another kind of on the same lines of this, another thing that can be interesting to do is to just keep copying like a drawing or a symbol that you invent over and over and just see what happens when you do that. Kind of like the idea of maybe keeping all of this pretty loose, but then going in for more detail with the characters, but keeping the rest of it loose. Let's see. I think I'm going to put him in a little Speedo. Maybe he'll just wear some pants. Here. Just got some cutoffs. Thank you, Amanda. Good to know it's freeing to know that you can paint over it. Oh, yeah. It's one of the reasons why I love acrylics is I paint over it, you know, paint over things a lot. It's really easy to do that. It's not as easy with oils to do that. If you have any bumps you don't like, you can just sand them off. What time are we at? Ooh, getting to the end. Well, I hope this just gives you the license to just, maybe don't take your painting so seriously. Just try different things out. You've inspired me to do the same. Yay. Thanks, Amanda. Yeah, and just don't, you know, have fun and think about when you see artwork in a museum or in a history book, just think about the context that it was made in. I always love that. And yeah, try, maybe you have a painting you really like, try doing a reproduction of your painting. Um, try different things. Just have fun. Um, Enjoy the process. Don't take it so seriously. It's just a painting. It can, it's not gonna, it's not gonna. Well, I don't want to be rude and say it's not going to change the world because it could change the world. I mean, this painting kind of did, or not this one, but Manet's painting. Um, and yeah, maybe on a certain, like a small level, it will change the world. So, but enjoy it, enjoy the process, try different things out. And yeah, if it doesn't work, just paint over it. If I finish this, which I don't know if I will, but if I do, I will post a link in the description below for people to visit. Okay, I'm just going to spend a couple more minutes working on this. If anyone has any questions about anything, let me know. Um, I hope you enjoy the week ahead. The more light in the evening. Are you thinning your paint? A little bit, yeah, with some water. I'm just using water. Sometimes I use acrylic glazing fluid, but yeah, just a little bit of water. This is what my palette's looking like. I'm mostly using the water to clean out my brushes in between applications, and then there's a little bit of water still in the paintbrush. So um, that's generally how I do it. But yeah, whatever it takes to get the paint on it. You don't want to work too. I usually work thin to thick, like I'll start a little bit thinner and then build up to thicker applications of paint. This guy's cracking me up. And one thing to keep in mind just before I get off here, acrylic paint dries a little more transparent than it appears. So if you're painting on a dark background like this, you might work with some applications of paint and they look great, but then when the paint dries, it might get dulled out or not show up as much. And that's just because it dries more transparent. So that dark color is going to come through a little bit more. So as you're building up your paint, you want to work a little bit thicker so that those colors show up a little bit better. I think somewhere I have a tutorial on painting on a black surface, somewhere in my history of videos that you can look through. Um, because it is a different um, a different beast of a painting to work on a dark background. I really like it. I think it's really fun. I mean, the colors are really gorgeous if you can do it right. All right, everyone, I'm going to take off. Thank you for being a part of this very bizarre experience or experiment. Thanks, Amanda. If you enjoyed this video, please give a thumbs up, give a like. And I thank you, everyone, for donating to the channel to keep this going. It really helps, and I really appreciate your support. All right. Oh, thanks, Stephanie. Thanks, Lisa. Thanks, Anne. Okay, have a great day. Oh, and if you post these, please tag me so I can share it. I love sharing these on my Instagram page. My tag is @UrsaBear on Instagram. Thanks, Jamie. All right, bye, everyone.